What's up, everybody? It's the Sport Aces podcast here. I'm Chris Ortega. We got Tom Bucciferro here, and we have a special guest this week. Man, it's crazy world in the NBA, but we had to bring somebody on with great knowledge of the NBA game and somebody who's one of the co-hosts of his own podcast, the Got Next podcast. Y'all should check it out on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel and like and comment as well. Got my guy Mitchell, man. How it feels to be on here today, man.
Feels good, man. Craziness in the NBA right now. A bunch of trades going on. As a Heat fan, disappointed, man. Jimmy Butler's, still out here. We don't really know where he's gonna go, but happy to definitely talk about the other trades going on right now, man. It's crazy.
Man, first of all, man, we gotta dedicate this day for Luca Day, because let me tell you, I just want to get your opinion, man. What was your first thoughts waking up on either if you was up late at night to see the trade happen or you waking up on Sunday, man? What was your first thoughts on this?
Tom,
Like
I'm gonna let you
literally.
go first, man.
Uh, I mean, I think it's the same reaction from everybody. It's just shock. Like, I mean, I'm sitting here. I was awake when the whole thing went down. I'm just sitting there on my phone, like, is this real? Like, there's so many. Like, we all know, like, Laker fans love to make their little edits where they're like, oh yeah, let's have Luca in the Lakers jersey, or let's have Anthony Edwards in the Lakers jersey. So like, it could have been one of those things. But then Shams, who's everybody knows, he's like the Woj of the NBA. He's always first breaking the news, and he's like, "Yeah, this is real. Like, this is actually happening." And I was like, my first thoughts were like, "What are the like?" I don't know if this is like a consensus among like you guys, but it's like, what are the Mavericks doing? Like, they just traded away a guy who's 25 years old, 25, and he's been All NBA 5 times already in his career. Like first team All NBA 5 times, just led you to the finals last year, and you're citing conditioning issues, bro. I don't care. I don't care how big the dude is. He's dropping 34, 9, and 9 a night, dude. You're not getting. He's untouchable. He's supposed to be an untouchable. Like who somebody tweeted about it. I think it was like Josh Hart. He's like, who is untouchable in this league if Luka's not? Because I mean, the only guy above Luka in my mind that's untouchable is like like LeBron maybe, or like KD, but like I guess not. I guess the Mavericks were just like, you know what? Yeah, we're just get rid of our franchise.
The only other person I could think of that's untouchable would be Wembanyama.
Yeah, Wemby
That
too.
that's another untouchable guy. But
Was Jokic mentioned? I think Jokic is one of those guys too.
oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. I think it was a thread that had like I think 5, 6 different players that was untouchable, and Jokic
Yeah,
is one of them.
has to
So
be.
yeah, but go ahead, Mitch.
Man, I had actually just got off work. We had a show, NBA Countdown. I'm sure everybody knows about it, right? So I had just left the building. Like, I swear when I did, the moment I stepped out of the building, my phone went off and I was like, somebody had added me in a group chat. I'm in like a group chat with like 20 guys, crazy, crazy group chat. So they add me and they're just like, is this real? And I'm like, huh? Like, is what real? I don't know what you're talking about. Start my car. I'm driving. I'm like 2 minutes away. And then I get the notification from Bleacher Report. And I was like, what? In the middle of driving. So like I couldn't even break down what was going on. Had to wait till I got home to even like fully open up the tweet. And I'm like, yeah, this makes no sense. Like honestly, at the time, I'm like, this makes no sense. I don't know what's going on. Why would the Mavs get rid of Luka Doncic? And then the reports start coming out, that he reported to be like 270 or whatever like that pounds. And respectfully, I agree with Tom. What like I don't care if he was 300, 350. I don't care if he's 400 pounds. The man is first team all NBA consecutively. Like what? Perennially, he's gonna be first team all NBA. That's what he does. He's a bucket. He was just in the finals. Like I don't care how heavy you are. And honestly, it's not good that you're heavy. It's not a good thing. I'm not gonna excuse that. But at the same time, it doesn't matter, and it hasn't mattered this entire time. So, and then to source your reasoning to come out and be like, hey, I think it's defense related. Defense wins championships. What is that guy smoking, Chris? I got a question for you. What is he smoking? Did you give it to him? I don't know who's giving it to him, but he needs to stop smoking it. What is he talking about? Defense wins championships. You had a top 7 defense after you made the trade last year. You made the trade at the deadline. You got PJ Washington. You got your pieces, and you guys were a top 7 defense from that point on. So you already had defense. Makes no sense.
So for me, I woke up Sunday morning, you know, seeing my group chat booming, seeing like between 100 to 200 plus messages. I'm sitting there thinking something had to crazy happen. Either something happened in the NFL, didn't think about the NBA, and seeing the Luka trade happen, they get on Instagram, seeing people that working at night, their live reaction and screening. It was just like, whoa, all this shit is happening. Oh man. It's crazy because for the Mavs to do this trade, and I know people were trying to crack jokes saying like, man, Mark Cuban would never traded Luka. But the minute he stepped away for the basketball operation side, these guys is like I don't think they know what they was doing. They try to say he was 270. From that video of him arriving in LA, let me say this. If that's 270 from his posture, that wasn't 270. That was like 250, 245. But it doesn't matter what the size is. It's like you trade away your franchise guy that y'all traded for in the draft day in 2018 to bring to Dallas, and y'all build a culture around him. You trade him to the Lakers, and it's like my only thoughts for Dallas is I guess they're trying to win now in the next 2 or 3 years. That's my
Okay,
only
but
thoughts
like
of it.
Luca helps you win now. So like you can't even say that.
I, this is what I would think if you're in the Mavs front office. I think mentally in their mind they thinking we got AD, we could go back, we have some defensive efforts now to help us against like the Western Conference teams, but sadly, it's like you really just gave up one of your franchise guys that's could get you a triple double at any moment, and you gave him to the Lakers, where it's like the Lakers of all teams you could think of, the Lakers. Now for the Lakers, this is a huge win because you playing in post LeBron era, which now like it's okay if like you might have one losing season with Luka with the Lakers uniform. That's fine, but you're gonna rebuild a lot around him now. And for the Mavs, it's like, and the crazy thing is, you didn't even get a lot of draft picks for him. You only got like maybe one pick and Max Christie. Like that's what we got. That's what you get in return for Luka. Oh man, the Lakers fleeced them, man.
It's laughable, honestly. It's really laughable. And then one more thing, I got to go back in on Nico Harrison here, man. First of all, I want to cite who he is. I just want to go ahead and give everybody's background. When Steph Curry did his interview with Nike,
I was really
um,
gonna start bringing this shit up, bro.
the guy that had the wrong slideshow prepared. This is the guy. I just want to put that out there. This is the same man. All right. So then he comes out here to justify this terrible decision. He says it was about defense and about soft tissue injuries with Luka. Luka has played 65 plus games in every year of his career. 65 plus. He does that every so the injuries aren't even really a real thing here. And then if the injuries are a real thing, why would you then go trade for Anthony Davis, who we all know is typically made of glass, but he's actually had a really healthy couple like 2 years here now at this point. But you're trading an injury prone guy essentially for another injury prone guy, in your words, because Luka's not even injury prone. And then it just all of it just makes no sense. And then they just give up on him when he's 25. Imagine the Warriors when Stephen Curry was having his ankle injuries a bunch of years in a row. Imagine they just gave him up. They just gave it up just because. Why not? He's young. It's ridiculous. He's never healthy. It makes no sense.
Yeah, Nico
It's
Harrison, yeah,
yeah, go
bro.
ahead, Tom.
Nico Harrison's an idiot. That's all I have to say.
It's crazy because that was my first thoughts. the more somebody spoke about who he was, it makes total sense now because the fact that you really let go of your franchise player, who are you thinking is your franchise guy now? Like long term, like AD not gonna be there forever. Kyrie's not gonna be there forever. Who do you have?
They're both like 32 at this point. So you have a 3-year window max right now.
Like who you gonna rely on? Max Christie is your next face of the franchise.
Quentin Grimes, is that those are your guys? I mean,
You
Derek
know,
Lively, I guess he could be.
I think
maybe
another piece that, you know, Anthony Davis is like he has voiced that he prefers to be a four. So in like obviously we saw when the Pelicans got DeMarcus Cousins, Anthony Davis was having probably the best season of his career, like with DeMarcus Cousins. Like he was putting up 50 balls like night in, night out with DeMarcus Cousins. So I can see like the appeal for Davis being a four with Lively at the five, but like still, I just don't I don't know, man. Like Davis is 31 and he's got maybe two with all the injuries he's had, he's got maybe 2, 3 good years left. He's not LeBron. LeBron's got insane. I don't know what's going on with him. He's just insane. Like he's an anomaly. Like not every guy is going to be able to play like that when they're 40 years old. Like very, very few guys have ever been able to do that. So it's like I don't know what it's again. It's just a shock.
it's it's just more questions than answers for both teams. Like
Well, it's more
it's more
questions for
questions.
that. Like
It's more for the Mavs than the Lakers. The Lakers is kind of like, the next move is you gonna get another big to
I
add to the
actually have more questions for the Lakers, if I'm being honest, than
Mm,
the Mavs.
really?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you know what you're getting from the Mavs, right? They have this window right now. Kyrie's
Okay.
gonna be the guy again, right? So he's gonna be your main ball handler, your main bucket getter essentially. And then you got AD, you got Gafford, you got Lively, you got a pretty good surrounding cast. I don't know too much about Klay Thompson.
But before you go any further, I just
But
want to put out there that there's currently right now in the standings, the Lakers is fifth and the Mavs is ninth right now. So I just want to put it out there before you
for
go ahead and
sure,
continue with the
for sure.
Lakers.
But again, I feel like you know what you're getting from the Mavs. And then I feel like they need one more piece. Klay Thompson at this point is not, the defender that he used to be. So, I mean, I don't know if a backcourt of Klay and Kyrie at this point is going to be, efficient enough to have a good defense. But I mean, I feel like the West is wide open. I feel like it's the Thunder up there, but they're still a young team, and I personally don't even super believe in them in the playoffs, if I'm being honest, in the postseason. So I feel like the West is pretty wide open. The Nuggets are clearly not the team that they used to be. So I mean, who's really gonna stop the Mavs at this point? I feel like they're one of the best. They're probably a top three team probably in the West right now, just looking at their roster. And then with the Lakers, the questions I have are: does LeBron even stay at this point? Like, he's 40 years old. You don't have a center right now. You're starting Jackson Hayes. You still have to really significantly fill out the rest of your rotation there. I mean, how long does LeBron? LeBron can't wait another 2 years for that. Like, we are legit probably 2 years from the Lakers being legit contenders because the Luka and LeBron fit. I mean, it looks nice on paper. I don't think it's going to fit super well, especially at a championship level. So there's a lot of questions I feel like in LA. And then Luka Doncic is supposed to be a free agent in 2026. Does he see enough from Rob Pelinka and the Lakers between now and 2026 to re-sign with them long term? I don't know. So I got a lot of questions for the Lakers.
Good point. That's a good point. I mean,
That
there were
that
some
is.
rumors that they wanted to pick up Walker Kessler, but this was before that whole trade went down. So I mean, I don't and Kessler's a great young big. Like he puts up numbers. So I mean, if they could get him, that would change a lot. That would change my mind on that would
Mhm.
change the questions. It's like yeah, like I just don't think the Lakers are done. I think they're getting big. I think they're going to trade for someone else. I mean I don't know who. I mean Kessler would be a good fit, but are the Jazz willing to give him up because he's a good young center and the Jazz obviously aren't in any position to win right now. So I
Right.
mean they take any picks they could get at this
Also,
point.
they have a lot of bigs as it is. I feel like Walker Kessler losing him doesn't really lose, their future or anything to change much for them. So I like that move a lot if they can make that
Yeah, because I mean Jackson Hayes, we all know like he
happen.
He's a
I mean,
bust.
I picked him up in fantasy because he's starting right now, but I mean, I don't think that's gonna
I
last
mean,
too
I
long.
will say this though, Hayes has done better down like the past couple of years. Like when he first came in the league, he was not the guy that people thought he was going to
He
be.
fucked up
They
my
took him what?
parlay.
They took him top 10, right? He was like top 7 pick when he came out.
Yeah.
So we'll see though. We'll see.
You know who I wish they could go for? And I feel like they should go after him because I don't see the Nets doing anything with him for real. They should go get Nick
Claxton,
Claxton. Yeah,
Mm,
Nick
I
Claxton.
can see.
Only
interesting.
because it's like it's certain teams now that I'm looking from a lot of these trades that's happening. That's like they should go for these guys while these teams is like kind of about to go in rebuild mode. Like the Bulls. The Bulls are a perfect example of no identity right now because trade
I
away a
mean,
lot of guys.
I can guarantee you they're about to trade away another player on their team. That's all I'm gonna say. So they're going to be pretty decimated after they just got rid of Zach LaVine and they're about to get rid of one of their other stars right here before this trade deadline in a couple
Is it
days.
Vucevic?
It might be a center and his last name starts with a V. It might be. I don't know.
I
That's
said,
all, I don't know.
look,
But
yes, I know yesterday I talked about it on the podcast episode yesterday with somebody. I told them I can see Vucevic being the one guy that might get traded. Out
yeah,
the door.
he will not be there in a couple days, so we'll say that. But he's going somewhere where I think LeBron really wants to go to Golden State. I really do. I think he wants to go to Golden State, and I think this is a great opportunity for him to go there because the Lakers have their future now. They have their next 10 years. They're not on LeBron's timeline anymore. They're on the Luka Doncic timeline now. So does LeBron want to stick around for this for a couple 2 years, or we've heard him say multiple times, there's one person I want to play with at this point in my career. So I think it's definitely something to watch out for.
I
That would
think
be
Brian's
that'd
gonna
be cool.
stay in LA. I think he probably would stay in LA to play with Luca to like mentor him and everything. Get him in that mindset of like being in the championship mindset
Mm.
standpoint. Cause he
Hopefully,
been there
man.
once, but like had that mindset every season. Like how you need to train your body, how you need to
It's more of the off
well,
season stuff and the off
yeah, like the
stuff because we
mental
yeah.
game of stuff. So that's how it is. As far as like the other teams in the West, the only team that I kind of like would be the Houston Rockets.
Okay.
No, I like the Houston Rockets a lot. I think Ime Udoka, he's a pretty good coach. And I
Mhm.
feel like for him to change that team around from like his first season there, I knew like the first season, it's just seeing what you have, seeing what guys that you can build off of. And now you're seeing, the Sagoon, the Jalen Green, Van Fleet, Jabari Smith Jr. Like these are guys that you can build off of a very young team. Do I see them making a huge playoff run? Not right now, but
Nope.
like they can get into the first round. Depending on who they play against, it's going to really determine. I like how the Clippers is still being all right. Harden is still being productive. Norman Powell stepping up a lot. Um, I just wonder if Kawhi is going to be back to Kawhi now.
I think we all know what's gonna happen with Kawhi at this point. Um, Thomas immediately shook his head. I think we all know where we're at with Kawhi at this point. The playoffs are gonna come. He's not gonna be playing, and it's just not gonna be enough. You can't have Kawhi not out there, and then James Harden's he's gonna have his stinkers in the playoffs as well. You're not gonna be able to compete like that. But I will shout out the Clippers though. They've been extremely competitive. I feel like every game they go into, they can win, and they win a lot of really, a lot against good opponents. So, I feel like they're yeah, pretty solid team. But you kind of made my point there, Chris. The West is wide open. Like I think the Mavs really like are in a good position here. Honestly, I don't know if are they getting Lively back at all this year? Do you guys know?
They said he was out for 2 or 3 months, but he should be back like most likely after All-Star break. So it should be good when like they should be in the play-in spot. But another team who I think is going to get into a playing spot is the Spurs.
Spurs, 100%.
Because getting
100%.
De'Aaron Fox, my God. And then the people you traded away for the Spurs, in my mind, I already knew it was like, oh, you got to trade Stephon Castle,
Hmm.
Devin Vassell, because it's De'Aaron Fox. I think the Kings
Right.
going to try to get him, but like, they didn't do that. I said, oh, you
Yeah,
just got De'Aaron
keeping Vassell
Fox?
is huge, bro.
Oh, okay. You trade Trey Jones, Zach
Yeah.
Collins.
Backup point guard.
Like,
I mean, Zach Collins is solid, and I think Zach Collins going to the Bulls kind of sets up what I was talking about. He will be starting on
yeah.
that team. So
And then the Kings getting Zach LaVine reuniting with his old teammate DeMar DeRozan.
it's nasty for the Kings, if I'm being honest. They're just the Bulls of the West now.
Yeah,
They're an interesting team to look at though, because like you got an elite center down there in Sabonis who somehow didn't make the All-Star team, which is a complete joke.
Insane. Makes no sense.
Complete
I
joke.
like Şengün's game, not this year. Sabonis was better than. I'm just gonna
So
put
yeah,
that.
but Sabonis should have been an All-Star for the past 3 seasons, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
he gets snubbed a
Guy,
lot too.
the
Yeah,
guy puts up 20 and 15 every night,
he had a
and
28
uh,
rebound game this year.
yeah,
Hold on.
yeah,
yeah,
Like
that's
leading the
ridiculous.
NBA in rebounds per game. Like, come on, bro. Like, I
yeah,
guess Şengün, like, yeah, he's a good young center, but Sabonis is like he is like a less. I don't know how to like put it in words without like disrespecting his game, but like you know what I'm trying to say. Like he models his game off of Sabonis. Like they play very similarly, but Sabonis is just better than him.
no, it's like they're all descendants of Jokic. It's
Yeah,
Jokic,
exactly.
it's the bonus, and then Şengün. They all kind of play like each other, and they're like baby versions of each other.
Yeah, but it's just like come on, like and in the Eastern Conference, like Trae Young is putting up 12 almost 12 assists per game, and like he's a perennial snub every year. Like 1 year he averaged 28 points per game and they didn't put him in. It's like, yeah, I know the Hawks aren't a great team, but like, dude, this guy is like one of the best point guards in the league.
I didn't know we were getting All-Star stuff today, but I will put it out there. Darius Garland should not be an All-Star, and the Cavs should not have 3 players in the All-Star game. That's it. That's all I got to say.
As a
One,
fan of
maybe two.
fan of the Cavs.
I mean, you're not a Cavs fan, bro. You just worked there for like 4 months,
Hey,
and
let me just say, let me just go bias because I
you're not
root for the
you're not
Cavs.
actually a Cavs fan
Nah,
though.
but be honest. When I seen the All-Star list, I was surprised at 3 All-Stars. That was like, wow. But when you're a winning team, I mean, we could see it happening.
Chris, I'm
But
trying to tell you.
three was crazy. Like, I get for Mitchell, yes.
Yes,
Mitchell,
Mitchell Mobley. Mobley
Mobley,
100%. Both of those guys.
yes.
Yes.
Garland, I'm like,
When you
Trey,
compare Darius Garland's numbers to Trae Young, I think they're averaging around the same amount of points, except Trey's averaging like
even
double his assists.
LaMelo Ball is up there too.
He's up
It's
there, but your team's 12 and 23.
mm,
And then you're also missing, I think he's missed like over half of the team's games the last month and a half. Like he
He's
started
hurt.
out, yeah, he's hurt a lot too. So like they're kind of pulling his strings at that point. Like you kind of have to be you have to be healthy. You have to do the stuff that you can do to control that. He didn't really do that. So I feel
imagine
like that made sense.
imagine if Zach LaVine was an all-star and then you get traded and now he gotta go to the Western Conference. It's crazy. Like, how y'all feel about Maxey like being snubbed this year?
I don't think
Again,
he got snubbed.
it's a team thing. Like they're not good. And Maxi is like, I mean, sometimes he's inefficient, man. Like he's a great player,
Yeah.
great young player, but he is so inefficient, man. Like he's
And
putting
that's
up 25 shots a game. Like, of course he's gonna average 25, 30 points because they don't have Embiid. Because Embiid fucking sits on the bench all day. It's like,
I said this two episodes ago, and Tom heard me say this. I literally feel like now the Sixers need to move on from fucking Joel Embiid at this point.
yes, 100%.
They
And
need to move on.
but they just
Cause
extended him this past summer, which makes no sense at all. So you double down on it. This is what you get, to be honest with you.
like,
oh, he's missed 490 games in
bro,
his career, and he's been in the league for
47%
what,
of your
10 years?
games,
He's done, bro. He's done.
like
He's done.
And matter of fact, speaking of like all stars, shout out Tyler Hero. What's going on with Jimmy Butler and the fucking Heat, man?
Look, before we, I'm not gonna make this about Jimmy Butler right now. Tyler Hero, man, I want to put that out there. That guy, he he's been there's the slander that has been put on his name, the smut that has been placed on his jacket over the last 4 to 5 years has been ridiculous. And it's out of stuff he can't even control. He dives for a loose ball against the Bucks, breaks his hand. I've never seen anything like it. He's just like every time that you thought he was about to do it, he just something would happen. He'd get an injury and just be out for a couple months, man. But this is the year. He played every game this year besides one, which was the night after his birthday or day after his birthday. So but let him get the night off. He's chilling. He's doing his thing. But yeah, Tyler Hero, he's a dog, man. I just want to put that out there.
He deserves it for sure. I agree.
Like, it's just with Jimmy Butler, like, he don't want to go to the Warriors. The Suns is the only option.
I don't we shouldn't even start there, Chris. We should start with the fact that he said, I will go to any of the other 29 other teams in the NBA as long as it's not the Miami Heat. And then the Grizzlies put in an offer for him. He's like, nah, I don't want that. I don't want to go there. What? What do you mean? You said 29 other teams, bro. What do you mean? I don't understand what he's doing right now. Like, and I'm at the point where if he wants to do this and tank his value like this, where the Heat can't really get any return back, we'll wait until the summer. Honestly, we don't have to trade you. Just sit out. Like, honestly, we'll just ruin the rest of your season at this point. That's what you've done to us.
They
So,
saving money. They
Dude,
been
Miami,
saving money.
Miami's got a good
Mhm.
dude. Kel'el Ware is a dog.
Khalil Ware's a beast, bro. I
Dog.
love it. He's a beast.
He been surprising me lately, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Now, but
Been watching
he
some of their games lately. He's been surprising me, man. For
he's
real,
got
for
he's
real.
got some traits that he can be a good. He's a good piece for you guys. And
100.
I mean, Jovic has his moments. Hawkes has his moments. Like,
Podcast, man. He's had a down season, though. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
But honestly, for him to be the bright spot of our season last year, and then now he's kind of like in the background, kind of says a lot about what's going on with the team. Like Ware looks really good. I do think we should come off of Duncan Robinson and Terry Rozier at some point, to kind of upgrade those positions. But I mean, and if Jimmy Butler walks in free agency, we just free up a bunch of cap space at that point. Like maybe we don't get a return, but we have a bunch of money to still pay somebody else. So, you know,
But like, how you feel about like the Heat chances in the East, like currently?
this season.
Yeah,
Oh no, we don't have a chance in the East, if I'm being honest. I mean, if we're in the play-in, we can maybe make the playoffs, but then we're in the play-in and we play like the Boston Celtics or we play the Cavs immediately, which I do think we could beat the Cavs possibly, but the Celtics, no, I don't think there's a shot there. So no, against like the better teams in the East this season, no, not at all. But we have a lot to build on, I will say. So, and I'm happy about that.
all right, good, good there. Um, man, like it's just crazy because now we can only see who is not safe. Me personally, the one trade that I want to see happen, I really want to see Zion in a new destination.
Yeah,
I
I
think a new change of scenery. I think the Pelicans just need to blow it up. That's another team who I think need to trade away. The Ingram, Zion need to go.
mhm.
Praying that Murray get back to himself again, man, because he had a tragic injury not too long ago. So it's just, unfortunately, I want to see that change. Wait a minute. Did y'all see how Jordan Poole felt like he playing on the All-Star level?
Who? He said that?
Yes, Jordan Poole felt like he
Wow.
plays at All-Star level.
Wow.
Like
Um,
I wouldn't even say that. Washington's like what 6-40 or something like that.
7-41, man.
he's
7-41.
also missed a bunch of games. Like, what are you even talking about at this point? I think he's missed like probably a solid month of the season so far. Like, nah, I think we're good.
Nah,
And Jordan
man.
Poole just likes to talk, man.
Yeah, that too. He just likes to talk. I do think he's a good player. He'd be better off somewhere that's not the Wizards. But I'm like, if you can't even really be that great on the Wizards, how good are you, brother? Like,
Nah, definitely, definitely, man. But another thing that, I want to switch gears, man. Talk about a little bit NFL, man, that's been breaking news. Myles Garrett, requested a trade from the Browns. Do y'all think the Browns should trade this man?
I mean, they don't want to. They've already established that. But I mean, players request trades all the time. Obviously, we see it with Jimmy Butler, but players request trades all the time. Garrett, I feel like Garrett, like he's not the type of guy that's gonna like force his way out of the team. But like, I mean, he could also. I mean, maybe he is that guy. He might be like Hassan Reddick, where he's just like, "Oh, I'm not gonna play until you get rid of me or pay me." So it's like I don't know. It would be interesting to see what teams are willing to offer for a
Mhm.
guy like Miles Garrett, who's a top five defender in the NFL right now and at the on the line. So it's like, and the guy is still got some good years left. So it'd be interesting to see like what teams like need an edge rusher and what teams are willing to offer because he's going to be expensive. It's going to be probably multiple first rounders for him. I mean, this is a point in his career where he's like, I want to win. Like the Browns haven't given me an opportunity to win. Like, yeah, they made the playoffs last year. They didn't go anywhere. And he's just wasting his prime years in Cleveland. So I'm like, yeah, like if I'm him, yeah, I'm requesting the hell out of there and trying to get on a contender. But just imagine, bro. Just imagine the Chiefs open their pocketbooks for him, dude.
The Chiefs came to mind, and then the Commanders came to mind.
Yeah. I mean, the Commanders definitely
You're a
need it.
And I'm
Commanders
like,
fan, ain't you, Mitch?
brother, I'm like, Miles Garrett on the Commanders? Your defense
Uh,
is,
I
oh
do
my
not want to
gosh.
see Miles Garrett 2 times a year. I don't want to deal with Miles
I know
Garrett two
you don't.
times a
And
Yeah,
year.
that's
but
why,
like, but
ooh,
think about it
that was
from
fire.
their standpoint. They had no D line, bro.
No,
You're
you
getting
get Miles
Yeah,
cooked.
Garrett,
that was the biggest
They're getting
thing that
cooked all
hurt
year in the
them.
run game, and Miles Garrett would help them out
and they
tremendously.
have the money to do it. Why not?
People are going to want to go there after they just went to the NFC.
Yes, 100%. You get Miles Garrett, and then you upgrade. Who is it? Lattimore. He's not that good anymore, if I'm being honest. Might need to upgrade that position too.
Yeah, corners
This,
corners are mid.
The
The
corners are
uh,
mid.
defense is really like not big. Luvu's nice. I like him at linebacker, but everyone else wash.
Based on this salary cap that's going into this next season, with number one, the Pats have 120 mil in salary cap. The Raiders got 92 mil. The Commanders got $78 million in
Uh,
salary cap. The Cardinals 71, Chargers 63, the Bears 62. Just to name a few that's out there that got salary cap, which for the Commanders to have 78 mil, like, and then you have T. Higgins is out there too.
yes,
That's
yes.
like that's like this free agent class is like T. Higgins is probably be the top of the bill because we know the Patriots is going to try to throw a major bag his way.
I can see it.
Getting
I
Josh
like.
McDaniels back as your OC again, which he always end up finding a job back in New England. You know, I can see the Patriots try to get receivers
They need him.
for May.
They need every position at this point, honestly. Other than quarterback, everything should be on the table.
I mean, they got Christian Gonzalez, who's a really good
Oh
corner.
yeah, he's really good too. I agree, 100%. Christian
Other than
Gonzalez.
that,
Yeah,
yeah, they need everything they can get.
and
Like, I
I
mean,
thought
tight end,
Ramondre
Hunter
Stevenson.
Henry is not bad, but like,
No,
other than that, they ain't got nothing else on offense.
but I'm like, if you can trade Hunter Henry, for like maybe some other good receivers there, then I think that's a good move there. And then I thought Ramondre Stevenson was, pretty good, but these last couple of years he hasn't really looked that good to be honest. So I don't really know about him either. But I mean, you could probably afford to keep him. I mean, but yeah, QB and they need some receivers bad, like really, really bad.
It's crazy because now the Raiders hiring, Pete Carroll back in the game now. Do y'all see a reunion back with Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll?
I can see it. Steelers want to get rid of one of them, and if you're the Steelers, you take a chance on the young guy, in my opinion. Because I mean, what are they? They're just living in mediocrity right now. They're 10-7, 11-6. They lose the first round. Like they need to get out of that cycle. And yeah, Justin Fields, like he's shown promise, but like I feel like he sat a year under, like he played a few games this year, and he played pretty well. They were 3-1, but sat the year behind Russ, and Russ is obviously one of the better quarterbacks that we've seen in the past 10 years. So I feel like he learned a lot, and Tomlin's a good coach. So I feel like if you're the Steelers, you take a chance on the younger prospect who has elite running ability and his arm. He's got a good arm. He just needs to learn how to properly read a defense, which is something that unfortunately he started his career off in Chicago where quarterbacks are, you know, they have never had a 4,000-yard passer in their entire history, which just shows you how bad the Chicago's quarterbacking coaching is. But anyway, we're not talking about Caleb Williams, but you know what I mean. Like Russ and Raiders would be interesting. Him and Brock Bowers, they obviously would need to draft some receivers. They got a high draft pick. Let's see. I'm wondering. I'm trying to see what they're going to do with that. The Raiders just don't really have much for to offer for Russ except Pete Carroll. That's the only thing. That's the only thing.
I mean, looking at this free agency class, as much looking at the quarterbacks is there. Besides Russell Wilson, you got Sam Donald, um, Jameis Winston. Side note, Mitch, I really want Jameis Winston to work at ESPN.
I think he's good. I've been saying that in my group chat for a long time.
I would love him to come on First Take for an episode. I would literally die laughing, knowing
he has a legendary sports broadcasting career ahead of him whenever he retires.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That I had to think about that because I seen a video the other day. I was like, bro, he will motivate me to run through a wall for him.
Yeah.
In the show. It's just crazy.
100%.
But it's crazy because this season going to the off season, do the Vikings keep Sam Donald? Is Sam Donald gonna test the market?
Yes.
It's crazy.
They're not going to keep him. They already have like 4 quarterbacks right now.
Daniel Jones too. So it's
we got Daniel Jones too. You got JJ McCarthy. There was another backup that they had too.
They're already indicating that they're going to move on from him.
Yeah.
And they want to take a chance on their first round talent. Which I get because you just drafted a quarterback top 10, or no, he was 12th. I think he was 10th. He was 10th. You draft a quarterback top 10, like you got to give him a chance at least.
Yep.
I mean, and from what the success that we've seen out of all those rookies this year, pretty much all of them had, their bright spots. Like Caleb Williams, yeah, he was in a bad situation there, but he had flashes. Obviously, Jaden Daniels is, he's really good. And Drake May showed flash. Yeah. Penix at the end of the season, he came in, did well. And then Bo Nix, even Bo Nix, like people were writing him off like, oh, he's gonna suck in the NFL. He's too old. He's 25. Like, dude, he's 25. Like, man, he's under Sean Payton. Like, I think he really overperformed expectations from people, and I'm excited to see what they do in the future with Denver. They just need Denver just needs a couple more pieces, and they got a chance to compete. Their defense is
yes.
I'm gonna be honest. I think if the Raiders don't get Russell Wilson, they're gonna try to get Shedeur.
I can see it. I mean, they've obviously expressed interest in him since, this college football season started.
And Brady's the owner, minority owner. Brady want to bring his guy in. So
we'll see. I mean, they're gonna have. The thing is, the Raiders are gonna have to trade up most likely to get Shedeur. I mean, maybe not though. I don't know. There's been so many conflicting reports from these off seasons with all these different games that these players like Jackson Dart is apparently rising up draft boards. Like people saying that he's gonna be the QB2. Like people are saying Cam Ward's consensus quarterback 1. Shedeur doesn't have enough zip on his ball. I see a bunch of different. I don't know what's true and what's not. Some people are saying Jalen Milroe trash. Some people are saying he has potential. It's I don't know what to believe anymore.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a fan of Jalen Milroe.
I'm not either.
When you said it, I was like, yeah, he's trash. Jalen Milroe's not that.
Jalen Milroe is not good to me.
No, he's not.
No. I mean, I don't. He'll get drafted.
Yeah, he gotta go into the right system. for him
No.
to develop
No.
better.
I just don't think I don't know. He just doesn't like I didn't see anything in Alabama this year that made me like made my eyes like, oh yeah, he's gonna be good in the NFL. Like
Right.
Jackson Dart, I watched a couple of Ole Miss games. He showed me like he's got some potential to learn
Right.
enough. And like, I mean, everybody's more excited for like Arch Manning to come into the league now. Like a lot of teams are like, oh, they're not worried about this draft, worried about the Arch Manning sweepstakes, blah 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 blah. It's like, I mean, yeah, Arch has a lot of potential, but he hasn't, played a full season yet. Like, got to give him a chance to actually perform before you're like, oh, let's tank for him. It's like, yeah, I get that he's a Manning descendant, but like, give him like a year at starting at Texas. Like, they're going to be playing the best competition in college football. See how he performs. If he performs amazingly, then yeah, I'd start considering. Like, obviously, I don't want to promote tanking, but like, if you got a guy like Arch Manning who's showing that he can be a franchise guy, yeah, I mean, throw a little few losses in there if you're a team that's looking for a quarterback.
You know me, man. I'm riding with this narrative, man. Tank for Archie. Jerry, just do it. Tank for
Chris,
Archie. Let me be delusional. Let me be delusional for like a couple seconds, guys.
Cowboys aren't going to be that bad though. Like, they're not going to be 3 and
No,
14.
they're not. They will miss the playoffs, but they're not going to be that bad.
I ain't
They
gonna,
they have too much talent on that roster. Like, CeeDee Lamb's too
yeah,
good. He's too good.
nah, because I'm gonna be honest, guys. It can either go terribly wrong, or it could be like I wasn't familiar with this
Chris, the
man's
only way
game.
you guys go 3 and 14 is if you trade Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb. That's the only way.
That's not happening.
Exactly. That's the only way.
That's not happening.
You're
Yes,
not
that's
going
what I'm saying.
to the
Like,
team.
that's the only
We
way you
ain't
guys.
trade no CD.
No.
No,
I
yeah, that's what
mean, unless he requests a trade, which no, I'm playing.
Ah,
No, you're probably a couple years from that. I'm not gonna lie, you're probably a couple years from that. But
nah, man,
I
nah.
was a former Cowboys fan, and I got fed up with it, man. I don't trust the organization to make good decisions, and it's been 30 years of just trash, for being honest.
Man, it's like, do I change fan bases? Because people always tell me, Chris, you can just go to another fan base. But then it's like I don't want to join their fan base, and I bring the losing to the fan base. Like if you're a Cowboys fan, like what other team could I go to?
come be
You
a Jets
know,
fan. Like,
I'm
fuck
starting
no.
from scratch, Chris. I'm starting from scratch. Like I'm not gonna pick an established team. I'm actually looking at the Raiders, being honest.
It's crazy because like when it came to NBA, like when I was growing up, I was a big Kobe guy.
Hmm.
Dwayne Wade came in the league, I was a big Dwayne Wade Kobe guy. Once they retired, I'm just watching the games. I don't have a favorite team personally.
Uh,
So it just be like watching it. I hear debates all the time, and I just be sitting there laughing like, that's crazy. Like y'all really had these serious debates about y'all teams, knowing y'all team not good. But to wrap it all up though, I'm gonna be honest. I hope this upcoming season, like my predictions for this NBA deadline, I want to see where the fuck Jimmy go. That's all I want to know. Cause he's the only guy that's left. That's like, if he don't get traded, I'm like, oh, this shit about to be like headlines, like for the next couple of days post trade deadline.
we'll see.
that's where I'm at with it, man. I mean, why trade him when you don't want Bradley Beal? And like, because it's like if we wanted a declining player that was 30 something, mid 30s, and could score the basketball, we just re-sign Jimmy Butler. So we don't want Bradley Beal. And I don't think the Heat are the type of organization to be like, yeah, let's just make a trade so that we can end this awkwardness. Like it's been awkward for like a month now at this point. It's already been awkward. So let's just make it more awkward. Like get him out of here. Send him home. He doesn't have to play for the next couple months. Let the young guys get some reps. And I hope he does not go to Phoenix, if I'm being honest at this point. I hope he does. I just hope he waits to the offseason.
It's
Let's
gonna be a
let's give somebody
disaster.
some money.
If you go to Phoenix, it's gonna just be another disaster.
Yeah,
It
100.
ain't
They're not
happening.
even going to be that good of a contender, if I'm being honest.
Cause personally, I just look at like how I look at it, it's like you going to Phoenix, but like you're not really solving nothing. The player that I feel bad about the most is Devin Booker. Cause it's just like, damn, your whole career, it's like, damn, you was losing most of your career. Then you had some hope with Monty Williams and Chris Paul. Y'all made it to the finals, but y'all lost to Giannis. Then y'all try to make another run, but it didn't go out well. Then you fire Monty. Then you get KD, but you guys didn't build that chemistry together. So you had to figure out how y'all can work together. Then you get Bradley Beal, and it was like, the fuck y'all get Bradley Beal for?
It made no sense. Yeah. So that owner has a lot of money, but no basketball sense, and that's their problem.
That's the problem with a lot of ownerships. Like a lot of these GMs and ownerships don't know the game at all.
Nope, not at
They
all.
just
I
be
agree.
thinking we're gonna put these guys together, thinking it's gonna work.
Right.
I think the big three era is kind of done now. Like you kind of need like if you have a star guy, like the untouchables, like you said, like you have a Jokic. Who's the other guys that's gonna support him? You have Murray, you have Porter Jr. Some nights you might get Aaron Gordon to, ball out. Then when you look at the bench, the bench rotation matters too. Like, I don't think a lot of GMs or owners understand, like, you can't just be thinking, oh, I'm gonna have three superstars play together and we're gonna win. Like, I think the Warriors are trying to find another star player because they calling around trying to find another star player to play with Steph, but it's kind of like if they don't win this year, is it going to make a difference for the Warriors overall? Because I just think going forward, I think the Warriors need to start planning life after Steph Curry, which, you got Kaminga.
Ah, and who is Jonathan Kaminga? That's what the Warriors need to figure out. Who is Jonathan Kaminga? I don't think anyone knows. They don't even know at this point.
That's a great question, man. He's supposed to be like this guy that's supposed to be the next generational guy, and I just haven't seen it. I don't know.
Before the season started, Draymond said, if Kaminga is not an All-Star this year, we failed. Well, brother, you failed because he is not an All-Star. So who is he? Like I need to know who Jonathan Kaminga is, and then maybe you might have a future because we don't know. Like imagine Steph just decided to retire like this offseason. Like what is the Warriors' future? Like
it
they would be really bad.
like that really brings me in that question, man. That's why I always think to myself every day, like certain teams, it's like, do they have a plan like when these star guys they have retire? Like with Phoenix, it's like if it don't work out this year, you kind of just set your organization back years now.
But I mean, at least they still have Devin Booker, even though I don't think he'll be there super long
No,
term.
no,
I mean,
hell
like if
no.
it,
Devin
yeah,
Booker
I don't
gonna
think he'll be
leave.
there super long term. But like, at least you have a young star on your team. Like the Warriors don't even have that. We don't like. It's literally like if Steph retires, Draymond Green would be your next guy right now. That is a
No,
terrible position to be in.
I think Draymond will leave along with Steph.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, 100%. I'm 100%. So I don't know what the Warriors are doing, to be honest. That Draymond punch changed a lot for them.
Nah,
Yeah.
it's still funny to this day that he choked Rudy Gobert though. That shit live rent free in my mind to this day. Like the fact that he had nothing to do with this shit. He just ran up and
One
choked
punch
this man.
ruined the rest of their future, honestly. So it's just like crazy, man.
That's crazy, man. One punch and ruin
One
everything,
punch.
man. Nah, man. But any last takes you got, Mitch, man, for the people, man, that you want to share?
Not at all, man. Just look out for my Miami Heat. Look out for Tyler Hero, man. He's a dog. Watch as many games as you can. Definitely shout out the Got Next podcast. Shout out Chris. Shout out Tom, man. I appreciate the opportunity of being on here, man. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome, man. That's a Tyler Hero stand right there, man. I just want to let everybody know that. Like this guy, let me tell you, Tom, every time with something Tyler Hero related, I knew I'm about to see something about this guy on his page, man.
You already know.
Tom, any last takes, man?
No, I'm all good, man.
No, man. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of the Sport Aces podcast. Go ahead and like, subscribe. We already at 100 subscribers. Let's reach the 150 right now. That's the next goal. So tell a friend, and share it with another friend. So go ahead and do that. This concludes the episode of the Sport Aces podcast. I'm Chris Ortega,
I'm Butch Farrell.
Mitchell Baldwin.
and we will see y'all next episode.